Hello, today I'm going to do a small tutorial about how to play Ripper. First of all, I think I should explain what a typical Ripper rotation will look like. First, you need to know that most of Ripper's DPS is based on his ulti, which is called Crippling Punisher. So what does this ulti do? What it do, you need to look at the Awakening passive. So Crippling Punisher will enhance Beast Swipe, which is an Awakening skill, and it will summon the clones of Shift Blow, and Ease in a Drop, and also Artful Chaser. Then you need to look at Class Mastery 2. So and also Class Mastery. So Class Mastery states that when you use Crippling Punisher, some of your skills will turn into an enhanced version, which mostly means it will summon a clone instead of doing the normal action. So the skills that will be affected are Shift Blow, Ease in a Drop, and also Artful Chaser. For those skills, you will deal one hit damage, and that one hit damage will be exactly the board damage of the skill without counting the additional damage from the EX. Then a clone that's doing the whole skill, including the additional attack from EX, will be summoned. So that means that you will deal almost double of the damage when you don't have ulti, and all the skills CD will be turned to 5 seconds for Shift Blow, Ease in a Drop, and also Artful Chaser. Then Beast Swipe CD will be reduced to 10 seconds. So during an ulti, you will want to use as many clones as possible, but there's still some clones that are better than the others, which mostly will be that from the Beast Swipe, because Beast Swipe summon all 3 clones. Then the one from Artful Chaser, because Artful Chaser has the highest board damage besides Beast Swipe. Then you'll want to use Ease in a Drop. Then lastly, Shift Blow, because Shift Blow has the lowest board damage out of all 4 skills. So a typical ulti will look like this. You want to use Artful Chaser first, then use Ease in a Drop, then use Beast Swipe, then use Shift Blow in the end. So let's see the skill details. You'll see that Artful Chaser is the first one. Ash means that it's the clone that is summoned. Then you see Ease in a Drop is the second. Then Artful Chaser summon Ash, which is the 1 hit damage that's done when you summon the Ash. Then it's Beast Swipe. Then Ease in a Drop summon Ash, Shift Blow Ash, Ease in a Drop Ash, Shift Blow summon Ash. So that's about how the damage will look like that. The Beast, it means that the Ash is from Beast Swipe, not the normal one. Yeah. So mostly the ulti will look like summoning the one from Artful Chaser, then using Beast Swipe, then summon Artful Chaser again, then use other skills in the meantime, then use Artful Chaser again, when there's Machina or Sorceress buff, you will be able to use Artful Chaser for an extra time due to the CD reduction, but normally it's only 3 uses at most. Yeah. So that's that. Then we need to talk about like the debuff skills of Ripper. Ripper have two debuff skill. One is the one from Raven, which is called Applause. Usually this one I don't really use because the critical resist debuff is pretty useless in my opinion. So you can ignore this if you don't like to use that. The one that's important is Blade Runner. Blade Runner gives elemental debuff, which it's only available in the EX version. So this means that Raven couldn't use the elemental debuff. You will want to apply Blade Runner every 20 seconds. Blade Runner CD is only like 8 seconds, so you don't need to spam it like always. And the problem with Blade Runner is that you need to touch the target to activate the whole attack. If you didn't hit anything, it will just move forward and deal no damage. So you need to hit something first before applying the debuff. Then there's a small tip for Blade Runner. You can actually cancel the rest of Blade Runner animation by using by manually casting Burning Coil. Like this, you can land faster, and sometimes it won't even cost you the Burning Coil CD, which is good, because like this you can use the next skill faster. Or usually it will take a long time for the whole action to finish. But then this isn't really needed. This is just if you like to do it the flashy way. This will make the debuffing takes less time, which is very useful when you are using ulti, since ulti only have like 15 seconds. It saves some time for you. Or usually this whole action takes around like 1 to 1.5 seconds. Yeah. Like this, you can immediately use another skill. Since Blade Runner's first hit already apply the debuff, so you don't need to finish the whole skill. But the only way to cancel that is through Burning Coil. And you need Burning Coil to be available when you want to do this cancel. Okay, that's that. Then let's talk about other skills. For Ripper, he have a few iframe skills, and it's very important for you to utilize those iframe skills while you are in combat. So the first one I'll say is the one with the lowest CD, which is Drift Blow. The iframe is triggered by the EX additional attack, which can be used immediately after pressing the special attack button. That will be the right click. Notice that the skill will have a white outline on your character. This means that it have iframe. Then you can also see that Izuna drop also have that white outline. And when you land, you will end up in this position. This position will be a blocking position. You will be able to block at least one attack. Then you will backflip to avoid the rest of the attack. Then there's like 3 more skills that have iframe. One is Burning Coil. Burning Coil can be used during any skill. As long as you are not in air, you can use Burning Coil to cancel. You can cancel by using the shortcut spacebar during any action, or you can manually cast it. So there's like 2 types of casting for Burning Coil. One is the normal cast. The normal cast won't move anywhere, so it won't have any iframe. You need to press the version with the S button, which is just moving backwards. This version will have the iframe. The version that stays in the same place won't have any iframe at all. So you need to be cautious of that. Usually you can trigger the version that doesn't move from the place by pressing the W button. But sometimes you can cast that even without pressing the W button, or just don't press any button at all. If you want to cast the backward version with the iframe, you must press the S button to make sure that the system knows that you want to go backward. Yeah. The other two skill is the first cast of Mortal Blow. You have a very small iframe. The consecutive attacks won't have any iframe. Only the first one will. So you need to kind of remember that when you are using the Mortal Blow combo, you won't have iframe. And the other skill will be Flame Drag. Flame Drag will have iframe on the first back flip. First back flip. You will have a small iframe. Then, if you decide to jump backward again, I think you will also have iframe there. I'm not really sure. Let's just see it right now. Yeah, the back flip part will have iframe. So that's all the iframe of Ripper. If you want to count the ones from Crippling Punisher, there will be the right click, which does the shadow step thingy, and also the summon ash of shift blow will also give you iframe, but the summon ash of the other skills won't give you iframe at all, so you need to note about that. Mostly during ulti, you will want to evade attacks with the right click, which just do a normal illusion step. Yeah. Yeah, that's about the skills of Ripper. Then, if you want, you can be like me, take some raindrop. Since Ripper is a melee class, it's very hard for him to attack bosses that are far away. So I take raindrop to have some range attacks to deal with nets and stuff. It's not needed, but because of the new Ripper system, but I still take it due to it's pretty useful when you want to push things. Yeah. Then let's see. That's about the skills of Ripper. Then let's talk about the rotation. The rotation is pretty easy. You only need to know that there's only two modes of Ripper. One is under ulti, and I already show you like how the ulti works. So let me just do it again. A typical ulti rotation will want to do what I just done before. Just press all the enhanced skill, all the summon ash version. Then you will want to use other skills when the summon ash version is in cooldown, such as flame drag, burning coil, and also CM3. And also Blade Runner or Flame Locust, but those skills are in lower priority due to the low board damage. So let's see, let's just do it again. That's about it. So you can see, it's pretty easy. You just press all the yellow skills. Then you press Flame Drag if the CD is on. You press Burning Coil if the CD is on. Then you use CM3 if the boss isn't facing you. Yeah, that's simply it for what you should do when you have ulti. When you don't have ulti, it's also pretty easy too, since all you need to do is just use all the skills that you have. Cause ulti CD recovers by using Ripper side skills, which is basically all of your skill from this side, and also Burning Coil, and also this, and also those two. But Burning Coil will give you like more CD recovery than the other skills, although it's only like 1 second more. It's not very much. So you'll just want to spam like every Ripper skill you have, and probably spam like Flame Drag and Beast Swipe more, because they are like higher board damage. And Artful Tracer, you can cancel it, just cancel it, because you have a lot of skill to use, so you don't need to use it to fill up the rotation. And then like that, your ulti is back on CD. No, back on, not on CD, but well. So for River, it's very easy. Just know that when ulti, you will want to spam Artful Chaser, Izuna Drop, and Beast Swipe more. And when you don't have ulti, you will want to spam Flame Drag and Beast Swipe in higher priority than the other skills. And for Artful Chaser, you will want to cancel it. And then just remember that CM free, you need to use it, the Awakened Shadow Hand. You will need to hit it on the side of the target instead of hitting it in front, which is pretty hard to demonstrate in Golem due to Golem will just turn to you every time. So just remember that CM free, you must be at the back side or just not at the front of the boss. Then you can use the CM free, which is Shadow Hand plus Mortal Blow. That's simply it. And let me just perform a simple Ripper rotation for you to get some reference to. Another note is that there is a skill called Dedicate Crow. If you are a Raven player, you will know that this skill is very powerful. But for Ripper, it's a very shit skill, because the ashes for Ripper doesn't get any effect from Dedicate Crow. The only skills that have some advantages of this Dedicate Crow buff will be Beast Swipe and also Flame Drag and CM free, because those are the skills that have higher damage than the other skills when there's no Ash involved. So yeah. generally look like that. So you'll see that the Ash will be a very huge percentage of your damage. Then also Flame Drag and B Swipe. The rotation I just done isn't a perfect one because I'm trying to avoid going into the reset area. But well, you kind of get a point. For the current version of Ripper, it's just simply resetting the ulti every time, and remember to spam Flame Drag and B Swipe as soon as possible because they have very high damage. Then all the rest is just hitting like every skill that's up. And when you don't have ulti, please remember to cancel most skills. Like for Shift Blow, you won't want it to take the whole time of doing the attack. You will want to cancel it as soon as possible because all you want will be the CD reduction. And for the same goes for Artful Chaser. You will want to cancel it as soon as possible. Then for Flame Marcus, I'll say you can also decide not to do the additional attack since the additional attack also takes some time. But I pretty like the additional attack since I play Ripper since IDN. And during the IDN era, Flame Marcus with the additional attack is very OP. So it's just a bad habit of mine, but you actually shouldn't do the additional attack. You should just go on with your attacks. Just use another attack to recover the CD for a Cripple League Punisher. And some of you might ask, like, why do you have Excess Chain? So Excess Chain is mostly used by me when I need to get close to the boss. Most of the boss in DN move a lot, so this is when you want to use your Excess Chain. Another good part of Excess Chain is that when you are in air, when you didn't land yet, you are considered as in air, so that you can use this to avoid stomp but still moving in air. This is a pretty good part. But just note that the time you are in air is like, the period is very brief, so you need to time it very good to do that kind of movement. Yeah. Another skill I am taking now is the counter attack, which makes your tumble into a block instead of an iframe. I would say you don't need to trigger this buff on purpose, because this buff only like duration's only like 6 seconds. After you finish your tumble, you only have like enough time for using one skill or such. It's not very significant in my opinion, so you don't need to try to risk your play in order to trigger this buff. You just use it as a bonus when you are using tumble to avoid stuff. Note that the buff only works for the attacks you avoid in tumble, but not in illusion stuff. So need to get used to avoiding things with only tumble without illusion stuff. Also note that if you take this skill, you won't be able to use tumble to avoid the mushroom explosion in FD mushroom room. You will want to use either illusion step or shift blow, I think, to avoid the explosion. Yeah. Okay, that's all for the Ripper rotation explanation. Sorry that it's taking so long. It's like 25 minutes, but I'm trying to explain like everything thoroughly. And the last part will be the skill plates. The skill plates I use now will be Cripple League Punisher CD, then Artful Chaser attack, Burning Coil attack, and also Izunat drop attack. I choose those plates because the Artful Chaser and the Izunat drop plates works on the Ashes too. And then when you look at the damage meter, you will see that Burning Coil is actually quite high on the skill details too, and both Artful Chaser and Easy Drop is pretty high. So this choice of skill plates is based on the skill details. So yeah. Let me just share my skill points. It's pretty normal. The only thing I did differently from most Ripper players probably is that I didn't take Triple Edge. Because I feel Ripper doesn't really need this. Although this is a very good skill in PvP, but in PvE I don't see why you should take this. On the Chaser side, I didn't get Receive Edge because I think that you shouldn't get hit anyways as Ripper, since you only want to stay close to the boss. If you get hit too much, it kind of defeats the purpose of playing a melee class with iframe. So I didn't take Triple Edge. Not Triple Edge, Receive Edge. Yeah, I feel the aerial evasion is good enough for Ripper. Then I took Raindrop at 6 for some range attack opportunities. Then I took 1 on Excess Chain for mobility, and 3 on Illusion Step. Because I don't see why you need to take it to 6, since like 1 level only decreased for like 1 second. Not sometimes not even like 1 second, but well, yeah, it's 1 or 2 seconds. I think the 11S CD is good enough. It's not really needed to get such a low CD for Illusion Step, because I took the counter attack passive. So I will wish to take as many attack as I can with the top one instead of Illusion Step. That's why I didn't take a level 6 Illusion Step. Then for Ripper, I took everything. Awakening, I took everything too. Yeah, that's simply it for Ripper. Thanks for watching.
Bye.